We continue on page 241. So we'll be on around line 385 on page 241. At the same time, her handmaids bustled through the halls, four in all, whom performed the goddess's household tasks. Nymphs, daughters born of the springs and groves and the sacred rivers running down to the open sea. One draped the chairs with fine crimson covers. Over the seats she'd spread with linen cloths below. A second drew up silver tables before the chairs and laid out golden trays to hold the bread. A third mulled heady, heartwarming wine. In a silver bowl set out golden cups. A fourth brought water and lit a blazing fire beneath a massive cauldron. The water heated soon, and once it reached the boil in the glowing bronze, she eased me into a tub and bathed me from the cauldron, mixing the hot and cold to suit my taste, showering head and shoulders down until she washed away the spirit-numbing exhaustion from my body. The bathing finished, rubbing me sleek with oil, throwing warm fleece and a shirt round my shoulders, she led me in to sit on a silver-studded chair, ornately carved, with a stool to rest my feet. A maid brought water soon in a graceful golden pitcher, and over a silver basin tipped it out so I might rinse my hands, then pulled a gleaming table to my side. A staid housekeeper brought on bread to serve me, appetizers aplenty too, lavish with her bounty. She pressed me to eat. I had no taste for food. I just sat there, mind wandering, far away, lost in grim forebodings. As soon as Circe saw me, huddled, not touching my food, immersed in sorrow, she sidled near with a coaxing winged word. Odysseus, why just sit there, struck dumb, eating your heart out, not touching food or drink? Suspect me still of more treachery? Nothing to fear. Haven't I just sworn my solemn binding oath? So she asked, but I protested. Circe, how could any man in his right mind endure the taste of food and drink before he'd freed his comrades in arms and looked them in the eyes? If you really want me to eat and drink, set them free. All my beloved comrades, let me feast my eyes. So I demanded. Circe strode on through the halls and out, her wand held high in hand, and flinging open the pens, drove forth my men, who looked like full-grown swine. Facing her, there they stood as she went along the ranks, anointing them one by one with some new magic oil. And look, the bristles grown by the first wicked drug that Circe gave them slipped away from their limbs, and they turned men again, younger than ever, taller by far, more handsome to the eye. And yes, they knew me at once, and each man grasped my hands, and a painful longing for tears overcame us all. A terrible sobbing echoed through the house. The goddess herself was moved, and, standing by me, warmly urged me on, a lustrous goddess now. Royal son of Laertes, Odysseus, tried and true, go at once to your ship at the water's edge, haul her straight up on the shore first, and stow your cargo and running gear in caves. Then back you come and bring your trusty crew. Her urging won my stubborn spirit over. Down I went to the swift ship at the water's edge, and there on the decks I found my loyal crew, consumed with grief and weeping live warm tears. But now, as calves in stalls when cows come home, droves of them herded back from field to farmyard, once they'd grazed their fill, as all their young calves come frisking out to meet them, bucking out of their pens, lowing non-stop, jostling, rushing round their mothers. So my shipmates there at the sight of my return came pressing round me now, streaming tears, so deeply moved in their hearts that they felt as if they'd made it back to their own land, their city, Ithaca's rocky soil where they were bred and reared, and through their tears their words went ringing home. You're back again, my king. How thrilled we are, as if we'd reached our country, Ithaca, at last. But come, tell us about the fate our comrades met. Still I replied with a timely word of comfort. Let's haul our ship straight up the shore first, and stow our cargo and running gear in caves. Then hurry, all of you, come along with me, to see our friends in the magic halls of Circe, eating and drinking, the feast flows on forever. So I said, and they jumped to do my bidding. Only Eurylochus tried to hold my shipmates back, his mutinous outburst aimed at one and all. Poor fools! Where are we running now? Why are we tempting fate? Why stumble blindly down to Circe's halls? She'll turn us all into pigs or wolves or lions, made to guard that palace of hers. By force, I tell you, just as the Cyclops trapped our comrades in his lair, with hot-headed Odysseus right beside them all. Thanks to this man's rashness, they died too. So he declared, and I had half a mind to draw the sharp sword from beside my hip, and slice his head off, tumbling down in the dust, close kin that he was. But comrades checked me, each man trying to calm me, left and right. Captain, we'll leave him here if you command, just where he is, to sit and guard the ship. Lead us on to the magic halls of Circe. With that, up from the ship and shore they headed inland, nor did Eurylochus malinger by the hull. He straggled behind the rest, drawing the sharp blast of my rebuke. All the while Circe had bathed my other comrades in her palace, caring and kindly, rubbed them sleek with oil and decked them out in fleecy cloaks and shirts. We found them all together, feasting in her halls. Once we had recognized each other, gazing face to face, we all broke down and wept. And the house resounded now, and Circe, the lustrous one, came toward me, pleading, "Royal son of Laertes, Odysseus, man of action, no more tears now, calm these tides of sorrow. Well I know what pains you bore on the swarming sea, what punishment you endured from hostile men on land. But come now, eat your food and drink your wine till the same courage fills your chests now as then, when you first set sail from native land, from rocky Ithaca. Now you are burnt-out husks, your spirits haggard, Ceres, always brooding over your wanderings long and hard, your hearts never lifting with any joy. You've suffered far too much." So she enticed and won our battle-hardened spirits over, and there we sat at ease, day in, day out, till a year had run its course, feasting on sides of meat and draughts of heady wine. But then, when the year was gone, and the seasons wheeled by, and the months waned, and the long days came round again, my loyal comrades took me aside and prodded. "Captain, this is madness! High time you thought of your own home at last, if it is really your fate to make it back alive and reach your well-built house and native land." Their urging brought my stubborn spirit round. So all that day till the sun went down we sat and feasted on sides of meat and heady wine. Then, when the sun had set and night came on, the men lay down to sleep in the shadowed halls, but I went up to that lustrous bed of Circe's, hugged her by the knees, and the goddess heard my winging supplication. "Circe, now make good a promise you gave me once. It's time to help me home. My heart longs to be home, my comrades' hearts as well. They wear me down, pleading with me whenever you're away." So I pressed, and the lustrous goddess answered me in turn. "Royal son of Laertes, Odysseus, old campaigner, stay on no more in my house against your will. But first, another journey calls. You must travel down to the house of death and the awesome one, Persephone, there to consult the ghost of Tiresias, seer of Thebes, the great blind prophet whose mind remains unshaken. Even in death, Persephone has given him wisdom, everlasting vision to him and him alone. The rest of the dead are empty, flitting shades." We're going to pause here and answer another question.